Hey guys, we are back with the 8th episode of our series. We're going to get right into it. So, as far as MSU goes, not too much to talk about, I guess, and neither for Michigan or Kentucky really, but it's more of like a general sports type of week. For MSU, the official charges have been against the football players. And the names, I heard this from Hondo Carpenter, who's a weird dude, so you never know for sure. Like, I didn't see this in any other article, but he said the names of the 3 players on MSU's football team will be revealed tomorrow.
Oh, I've seen it lots of places.
Oh, okay. So I guess Hondo's not being weird. But
I feel like we can use deductive reasoning now to know who they all are.
Yeah, I feel like, isn't Demetric Vance supposed to be one of them?
Yeah, there were 5 players that sat out of the spring game and weren't like in attendance at all. And they were Demetric Vance, Josh King, Donnie Corley, Kenny Like, and then Demetrius Cooper. And Demetrius Cooper was obviously like sitting out because he was suspended for spitting in the officer's face. Kenny Like was obviously suspended because he has academic issues. He's transferring, so that leaves Corley, King, and Demetric Vance. And if you look at their Twitters, they haven't been on in a while, and what they have been doing is like following like some SEC assistant coaches. So I think it's safe to say they're thinking about possibly like finding a way to transfer if they don't like get thrown in prison, which I hope they do, and they probably will.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with that next week. We'll talk about that. And then yeah, like he just said, MSU has had 2 football players in the past week transfer away, Kenny Like and Khalil Gaines. Nothing really to say about that because they're just they were decent recruits coming out of high school, but they haven't like contributed yet. So it's not like I'm not really looking at it as like a loss or a gain. So yeah, and then also in this past week, MSU football got really late 2017 commit. I've never seen like getting a recruit. Like, I mean, really, like, I think football players are like moving in like a matter of days, like this week, and they just got him a couple days ago. So that's really, really weird. But he was like a decent, below average recruit. And then one thing is that Brian Bowen talked about a lot in the past. He officially decided to end it. He's going to Louisville. I think they deserve each other. And yeah, that's not just like there's some cases where yeah, I don't get like mad like, oh, he didn't go to MSU, I hate him. Like, that's not how I am. But like Brian, as we've talked about in the past, Brian Bowen just so like me focused, so like selfish.
I don't even know what that anymore because next year like Dang Adele, VJ King, they're and freshmen do not start early under Pitino, even really highly ranked ones. So I do not buy that he just wanted to be the main man. That might have just been talk from people, but I don't know why he'd go there.
But I mean, I feel like they're similar heights, but I don't think either of them have like a very similar game. Just right.
I don't think Brian Bowen will start next year, and I think if he went to MSU, Creighton, Oregon, whatever else he was considering, I think he would have started. I do not think he'll start at Louisville.
Either him or Josh Langford. But
I think he's better than. I think Josh Langford's garbage, and I think that Brian Bowen making a huge mistake going to Louisville.
Well, yeah, like I said, I think they deserve each other. I don't like Brian Bowen. I don't like Louisville.
And freshmen do not, like 5-star freshmen do not work out under Pitino. If you look at, I think there's 3 NBA players currently for Louisville, and like they have had very good recruiting classes the past 10 years. A couple of years ago, they got number 1 player in the country. I mean, according to ESPN, it might have been the number 2 player, but it was before Cal came to Kentucky the year before.
Well, and yeah, more than a couple years ago.
Yeah, and he didn't do anything in the NBA. Gorgie Jang, he doesn't do anything. Terry Rozier's okay. Montrezl Harrell's okay. But other than that, there's just a trash school and just a trash program. And like the players they do get, they use hookers to recruit. And now that they can't do that, they're left with just like weird like guys from Africa and like people who can't make up their mind like Brian Bowen. And God will do them no favors. And the charges, the second round of punishments coming this week, hopefully from the NCAA, and I hope it's very harsh. And it definitely should involve getting a banner taken down because they used ineligible players. So I don't see how you leave any of their accomplishments up from 2010 to 2013. And I'm sure no lessons were learned. I'm sure there's still like huge compliance violations, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, and as you said, and I think he's a solid player, but yeah, he's not like a groundbreaking player by any means, Brian Bowen, but obviously still a solid pickup. And they were in that range regardless without him. But I think with him, I would say Louisville's probably a top 5, top 6 team for next year.
Yeah.
So definitely, I would definitely say top 10.
I think those stuff. I think they're a little overrated, but they will be a top 5, top 6 going into it. But I do not think they're a top 5 or 6 best team in the country.
I don't think looking at their roster, I'm just like, holy crap.
I honestly think Izzo's saving himself a headache, not getting Brian Bowen. Even if Josh Langford is worse, I think you're just better off having Josh Langford who's going to do his thing and like shoot some threes and not get in trouble and not be like a headache. So
and that's another thing talking about like just like better like leaving it is that I alluded to this in the past, but I didn't even think about like maybe not even bringing it up, but you said something like that. So MSU articles are in today that like they probably are just going to be done with or save a scholarship for 2017 like I thought they would, and and sometimes like. It would just like mess up everything if they got someone like it brought in a grad transfer and cause like chemistry problems, and he obviously has like MSU has a good roster set, so it might maybe that's a good idea. And then the last thing as far as MSU goes is that I'm really excited for this. MSU's in this weird like Nike tournament next year. That's like honoring Phil Knight, and it's like 2 tournaments of like 8, and then the champions of both don't play each other. But MSU, it was in the first round they're playing. It happens around Thanksgiving, but MSU's first game is against Georgetown, so they're not going to be good. So they should be able to win that. But the real news as far as that goes, is that if I'm under the correct understanding, is that MSU plays Duke in the Champions Classic, and then North Carolina is in MSU's bracket in that Nike tournament. So I'm pretty sure, I know for Duke, I'm pretty sure for North Carolina that means that for the Big Ten ACC Challenge, MSU will not play either Duke or North Carolina. And so it seems like, because MSU will be like the top team in the Big Ten, and then take away Duke or North Carolina, it seems like MSU is probably going to play Louisville next year.
Well, they go off the ratings of last year. So if MSU finished 5th place last year, they'll play the 5th place team in the ACC.
Really?
Yeah. But sometimes, like if you play in the Champions Class, they can like finagle that, but that might be Louisville. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Bottom news is the Louisville thing was just like a guess, but like bottom line is for the Big Ten ACC Challenge, MSU is not going to play either UNC or Duke, and
they'll play Brian Bowen.
Yeah, maybe, and I hate Duke and North Carolina, so yeah, I don't like to play them, and unless obviously I have a very good chance of winning, but yeah. That's it as far as MSU goes. Michigan has not a lot, but
not a lot of news this week. Satellite camps are starting up. Jake loves those. Everyone loves a good satellite camp. I'll admit that when satellite camps first were invented, I didn't know what they were, and I assumed what it was like a camp taking place, and then like Harbaugh like Skyping in on like a giant computer screen or something, and like watching them. But like, yeah, why is it called a satellite camp? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, you shake your head at me, but like
no, just like an incredibly idiotic assumption.
Well, how is that reasonable?
No. Was that like serious?
Yeah, it's the 21st century. We can.
Okay, yeah, it's just stupid.
I thought it was like an innovative thing. Like,
that's just stupid. Just go on. It's really dumb.
Like speaking of satellite camps, like Michigan's been recruiting like Gabe Brown lately, but
he's a basketball player from Belleville.
Has nothing to do with the satellite camps, but yeah, he's a 3-4 star guy, depending on who you ask. Does not have good offers. Watch his film; he's okay. He's a small forward. I think he's like 6'6". Michigan's recruiting him. There were some crystal ball picks.
Yeah, like 4 of them, and he's visiting a bunch of schools later in the summer, and I think he's visiting Michigan this week. But apparently they'll probably offer, and if they do probably offer, probably get him. But
I feel like Michigan in-state kids, though, more so than other schools, are very weird. Like Michael Edwards had a Michigan offer. He went to like Georgia. Deontay Matten had an MSU offer. He went to Georgia.
Well, it seems
the guy who went to Marquette, Greg Elliott.
Greg Elliott. Well, yeah, I mean, like I don't know who Michael Edwards is, but I know with the Greg Elliott.
Michael Edwards is legit. He plays for Georgia. He's just like a center.
Okay, like with the Greg Elliott thing and the Yontae Maton thing, like both of those like offers were like late.
They weren't that late, and they should still be able to overtake Georgia. It's not it's not like it's like less of a scholarship offer because late. You still the opportunity to go to a better school.
No, yeah, no, I'm just saying.
It's still a weird decision.
No, yeah, it is a weird, still a weird decision. But like those offers were not like in the fall or the winter. They were like in the spring. Like so like, and I'm sure that happens like all over. But like, yeah, I agree with you that Michigan kids basketball sometimes make some weird decisions. Like yes. So,
lower is nice.
And then Kentucky, not too much happening there either. But one thing that we did just find pretty interesting was that Kentucky's always big under Calipari, but next year's team is huge. Their average height is going to be over 6'7", which would not only be the tallest team for next year, not only be the tallest team in college basketball, but it would be the tallest team in college basketball and the NBA. So yeah, they're going to be huge. They don't have like any like they don't have like I don't know like.
I don't think they have any 7-footers though. Sasha Clay Jones arguably 7 feet.
Yeah, I think they have like maybe one or two, but yeah, they just have like consistently like 6'10", 6'10", 6'9".
Yeah, I don't like that. I would rather have like two like 7'1" guys, and then like a bunch of like 6'5" guards. But
yeah, that's MSU never really has that. And they don't need it because the Big Ten's not as athletic as the SEC, so they always really have like 6'9", 6'10" guys, and that's fine. But the only other Kentucky news is the Kentucky-Indiana thing.
Yep, Kentucky and Indiana. Archie Miller is he took the Indiana job, and he's like second cousins with Coach Cal. They might even be first cousins.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, him and Sean Miller. So that's why a lot of people say that like Sean Miller probably will take the Kentucky job if he's offered, like when Cal leaves, and Jake's just like, no, terrible coach, and like only went to like Elite Eight like 3 straight years, and what a loser. So anyway, they think like a better relationship. They think it's gonna be at a neutral site. It is not
Indianapolis.
Yeah, it is not worth. Well, I think it's Indianapolis and Louisville, but it's not worth Kentucky's time to like go there. In a crazy environment.
I don't really think we talked about what you're talking about yet.
Oh, Kentucky, Indiana.
the headline of the story is that Kentucky, Indiana, for the past several years, that it's a great college basketball rivalry has not been going on. But Archie Miller said he's going to really try to get it happening. The new Indiana coach, Tom Crean, did not like it.
So I don't think it's a great rivalry. I think
it has a reputation.
It does, but Indiana hasn't been a relevant basketball program since the 90s and before we were alive. And just like one of those overrated programs like in all of sports, all of college sports at least.
Where would you have them on like the greatest college basketball?
I would still have them top 10, but I would put a lot of schools ahead of them.
We'll talk about it later.
We can talk about it now.
Okay.
I'd put Kentucky ahead of them. I'd put Kansas ahead of them.
Yep.
I'd put Duke ahead of them.
Okay.
I'd put Louisville ahead of them.
Okay.
North Carolina, UCLA. And at that point, they might be 7, but you can make a case for MSU. You can make a case for UConn. You can make a case. Actually, no, you really can make a case for UConn. You can make that strong case for MSU either. But the bottom line is, I think there's a big drop off between those schools I just mentioned and then Indiana. And
do you think Louisville is clearly better than Indiana? I don't agree with that one, but I think the other ones are pretty obvious.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Indiana, Louisville has 3 titles and they cheated to get one, and it should be stripped away from them, no doubt about it. So, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah,
they're only the 7th best program.
So yeah, but what we're, we'll just move on. So
about to blow a gasket.
And then we got general sports, then movies and TV. General sports, the NBA playoffs. 2 of the finals games have happened. Golden State has won both, where they were not very close. Close first half, but Golden State has pulled away in the first 2 or in the second half. And obviously going back to Cleveland, and I still like. I mean, clearly you have to like assume Golden State's going to win the series. They were up 2-0 last year, but
they were up 3-1.
yeah, and but I mean, I like. Bottom line, I don't think this will happen, but based on how the first two games are going, like it wouldn't like be insane. I think like, if they swept them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I mean,
thought it'd be 6 games, but
yeah, I still think it'll probably be 5. But I mean, Golden State is 14-0 in the playoffs right now. I mean, that's incredible. And yeah, LeBron's bringing it, but and Kyrie and Kevin are doing all right, but no one else is doing anything, and Kevin Durant and Steph are playing like crazy, and so yeah, that's what the NBA playoffs are. I know the Game 3 is Wednesday, and then probably Game 4 will be like Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember which one, but and then really like the highlight of our what happened. This happened earlier today, is that they're not really.
We hit a new temperature high in Sunflower.
Yeah, it was 85 degrees in Sunflower earlier, just ridiculous. It's still 80 now.
A cool 80 though.
Yeah, and our AC thing sucks. But the OS, they're not really using the word fired. They're calling it a mutual decision, but pretty much I think that's just Thad Matta like being like nice or like not really saying it. But OSU pretty much fired Thad Matta, their basketball coach, which is it's one of those situations that it's a weird situation where I don't know a ton about OSU basketball history, but I know a lot of people say like Thad Matta is like the best basketball coach in OSU history.
It's kind of like Michigan hiring,
but it is
also
like probably like a good decision to fire him.
It's just like an awkward situation.
Yeah, just because
the time comes eventually.
Like he was very successful in like the middle of his career, but just the last 2 years they have been terrible, and some like embarrassing stuff has happened, and some of that is like not really like his fault. Like Thad Matta has been like he's not healthy, like I guess, and like so he's I don't know, he just can't like recruit as much, and recruiting is obviously like the lifeblood of the program, and so yeah, probably even though he's a great coach, undoubtedly probably the right move. If not fire him this year, then if he had another shitty team next year, which they probably would because the roster sucks, fire him next year. So, and then some articles came out earlier about like some likely replacements for him, and obviously they were all across the board, and some of them probably unrealistic.
Coach Zim.
And but in OSU, like not like a great basketball program, but because like they have like a big fan base and they have like a ton of money, pretty damn good job for basketball. And it seems like I
was thinking no one cares. So like I feel that's you could work that to your advantage a little bit. Like if you're winning, like people will show up to your games and be lit, but like if you're not winning, who cares? Like you're still gonna win the national title in football, and you're still gonna get the number 1 recruiting class every year. And yeah,
I think that just happens all the time.
Yeah,
like,
it happened once.
Yeah, like the football title like once, and like the football like recruiting title, I don't think it's happened.
Arguably not at all.
Yeah,
but
so
pretty damn close.
Yeah. So yeah, and then
Ohio State is very good recruiting.
Football, yeah, and then the most likely replacements. It looks like realistically, like get an offer and the chance they would accept are the top 2 seems to be Chris Mack from Xavier, another Ohio program, and then Shaka Smart, who coaches at Texas now. At least for those 2, I think like those are both probably be like solid hires, but nothing like
I hired Chris Mack.
Nothing to get like really like excited about, I guess. I know.
I get excited for Chris Mack. He's young and like he's a good coach. Has like a lot of inroads there, and yeah, I would be excited with that. But I don't think Shaka Smart's proven enough for me. And
some people said that.
Yeah, I wouldn't hire him.
Yeah, it seems like Chris Mack is number 1, but
I saw just some unreasonable things.
Billy Donovan.
I saw Billy Donovan. I saw Sean Miller. Like I think Sean Miller has a better job now.
Yeah, and what's the other? Brad Stevens.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people are. Like,
Billy! You said Billy Donovan. Yeah.
But I think people know that's not going to happen.
It's just weird that every time a coach like goes to the NBA, like, or vice versa, like a coach goes to the NFL or college, like just every single job that gets brought up, even if they're doing fine in the NBA or they're like doing fine in the NFL or something, like every single job, like, oh, I'm sure he wants to come back. Like, no, he left for a reason.
Yeah, like Bradley Stevens, like coached like number 1 team in the East this year. Boston, and then who has I think the number 1 pick as well. Or wait, is that true? I don't know.
Yeah,
And then Brad, or what's his name? Billy Donovan, OKC, is coaching Russell Westbrook.
Did you hear the report that the Lakers might not be as interested in Lonzo Ball as everyone thinks?
Yeah, that'd be
very cool.
Yeah, just because I don't like him. But and yeah, so that's it as far as sports goes. And then lastly, as far as movies and TV shows, I can't talk. Go.
Wasted.
I saw Wonder Woman a couple days ago, and it's pretty solid. I didn't like the first 20 minutes. I didn't like the last 20 minutes, but all in that middle, I thought was pretty solid. And so if you really like, if you always generally like superhero movies, I would definitely think you would like this. And even if not, maybe just because through most of that middle section, it was just kind of like a World War I movie, so it was actually pretty interesting and pretty good. And then the only other last thing is that
I got a comment. Just I cannot say stuff like fighting World War I would just suck. It's to the point where
I don't think any war would be like a cake.
I think that it would especially suck. It's sort of the warfare or the equipment's pretty advanced with motorized stuff and stuff, but it's also still very primitive. So it's not a good mix, and just people just got gassed a lot, and
they talked about that a lot.
And they just freaking just sat in trenches just waiting to get bombed. Oh, that would not be cool. And they would just fight for months over literally half a mile of ground. And
trench warfare would be horrifying. That's our take on World War I. Would not be very cool.
A hot take.
And then the only other thing is, I guess in general, I know I said this a couple weeks ago, but now I think is really officially when there should be good movies coming out pretty consistently from now for the foreseeable future. But I know coming up this weekend, another movie I want to see. It Comes at Night. It's a horror movie. It's getting really good reviews. So yeah, I'm gonna check that out definitely. So yeah, I'll tell you what I think of that next week on next week's episode. And yeah, that's all we got.
You're running that this week?
Yeah, it comes out Thursday, Friday.
Oh, I might go to that with you. It's
a
horror movie?
Yeah, have you heard of it or?
Yeah, I think so. I'll watch it.
It's getting really good reviews, and he likes horror movies. So yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll talk about the MSU 3 players next week. See what else happens. So yeah, stay tuned, guys.